We begin this midday with an officer recovering after being struck by bullet fragments in a struggle with a suspect. Breaking now. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Andrew Ward. Lincoln police say one of their officers was injured and was taken to the hospital after trying to arrest one man overnight. At least one shot was fired during that fight. Police say Joseph Bertolino is now behind bars, facing first-degree assault of an officer. The incidents happening at the Arby's near 27th and Nebraska Parkway. LPD says one officer arrived and found Bertolino in the bathroom. That's when that fight occurred.
During the fight, at some point in time, Bertolino was grabbing for the officer's sidearm and a round was discharged into the restroom floor.
The bullet only struck the floor, but the officer was hurt from fragments hitting his leg. We're told other LPD officers arrived and arrested Bertolino after a taser was deployed. Both Bertolino and the initial responding officer were taken to the hospital. The investigation is underway. All right, let's talk weather here this morning. Beautiful blue skies right now. Things are starting to warm up a little bit from where they were this morning. 54 degrees outside right now. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get a closer look in our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. It is definitely warming up. I mean, we're already in the low to mid 50s now. There was some fog off towards southwest Nebraska, so they're trying to warm up, but there's a little lingering fog out there. That's going to lift here, all of it, in the next about hour. Look at the temperatures, 50 in Grand Island and York, and then we are at 54 tied with Omaha, and the winds are on the light side. Now, some spots might have 10 to 11 miles per hour, but really, if we can have a day with no winds, it's very nice. You can see where the fog is out there in the lower 40s still. Thetford down towards McCook and Holdridge. Meanwhile, eastern Nebraska, we get the low to mid 50s already. There's that little northwest wind. There's an area of high pressure currently sitting over where the winds are switching a little bit of the direction. But other than that, pretty light. Check it out. There's that high pressure right there between Grand Island and North Platte. And there's that little fog development. Meanwhile, up in eastern Nebraska, starting to see a little bit of a cumulus feel. Taking a look in the next few hours, we should start to see some isolated showers and thunderstorms off towards the west and southwest Nebraska, and then that will try to continue through the early afternoon. And we could have some light rain as we go into tonight and into your Thursday morning. So I'll show you how much rain and if there's any impacts in a few.
We'll talk to you then. Thank you very much, Houston. Breaking overnight, NSP sharing the details of a fatal crash in Grand Island. It all started with a DUI investigation that quickly turned deadly. Then the driver took off from authorities. NSP says that driver eventually lost control and crashed after being chased by at least one state trooper. This happened around 2:15 Tuesday afternoon. This is where it happened, just west of Grand Island near the town of Alda between I-80 and Highway 30. NSP says the trooper initially asked the driver to get out of the vehicle and follow him to the trooper's car, but the driver got back into his own vehicle and took off. The crash happened a short time after that. NSP says the South Central Area Law Enforcement Services is investigating this incident as well along with the Hall County Sheriff's Office and Grand Island Police Department. Breaking now, the U.S. Supreme Court making a pivotal decision on voting rights for minority voters. The court striking down a previous ruling, opening the door to possible discrimination in some voting districts. ABC's Christian Cordero explains.
In a case with potentially major implications for America's elections, today the Supreme Court ruled to limit a key part of the Voting Rights Act. The 6-3 decision fell along ideological lines. The court's conservative majority struck down a Louisiana congressional map that was drawn to address the diluted influence of racial minority voters. Lower courts recognized Louisiana only had one majority black voting district of its 6 statewide, despite its voting age population representing more than a third of its state. Those courts then ordered the state to add a second majority black district. Justice Samuel Alito wrote the highest court's opinion issued today and said that process relied explicitly and unconstitutionally on race.
This is a ruling that almost completely constitutionalizes a color blindness principle to the point that even race-conscious remedies designed to remedy racial discrimination are unconstitutional.
Race has long been unconstitutional as a primary tool in drawing congressional maps, but for decades, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act was used as a guardrail against attempts to dilute the influence of voters of color. During oral arguments last fall, the justices were critical of that practice continuing indefinitely.
This court's cases in a variety of contexts have said that race-based remedies are permissible for a period of time, but that they should not be indefinite and should have an endpoint.
In her dissent, Justice Elena Kagan warned if other states follow Louisiana's lead, minority citizens will no longer have an equal opportunity to elect candidates of their choice. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Developing now, we're getting new details in a lawsuit involving a former Husker coach. This all centers around Chuck Love, who was an assistant coach on the Nebraska women's basketball team before being let go in 2022. Now, according to the Associated Press, court documents say he now admits he had a sexual relationship with Ashley Scoggin. This comes amid an ongoing civil case. Scoggin claims her civil rights were violated before she was dismissed from the team in 2022. Love had previously denied any relationship. The suit also includes head coach Amy Williams and former athletic director Trev Alberts. Also developing now, an autopsy is now being performed in a Houston murder suspect that was found dead in his Lancaster County jail cell here in Nebraska. This case spanning 36 years and nearly 1,000 miles. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva breaks down what we know so far.
One of the most difficult things to have accepted is, no one being apprehended for this.
The families of 21-year-old Andy Atkinson and 22-year-old Cheryl Henry grieved for decades without having a suspect to hold accountable, until 64-year-old Floyd Parrott was taken into custody for their deaths at the Lancaster County Jail as a fugitive of justice. The warrant for his arrest created after his DNA was linked to the crime scene from August of 1990 in Houston, Texas.
Parrott was arrested in Lincoln on March 26, 2026, on a warrant from Harris County, Texas, for the 1990 Houston double murders.
Early this morning, medical staff was called to his cell to give medical attention as Parrott was found unconscious. After administering CPR, he was pronounced dead on site. As per Nebraska state law, an investigation by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office has already begun and an autopsy ordered for Wednesday at 8:30 a.m.
These deaths, the in custody deaths, extremely seriously. And this is a grand jury case, so we will not be able to give out a whole ton of information on the case.
He did add that video footage would be reviewed and labs ordered. Parrott did have a cellmate, but he was not around at the time of his passing. Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon also spoke about the case.
Parrott had refused to voluntarily waive extradition to face the criminal charges pending in Texas. So my office was working closely with authorities from Harris County District Attorney's Office in Houston to secure a governor's warrant.
That warrant expected to be served to Parrott within the next few days.
A team of experienced homicide investigators will be assembled to ultimately examine all evidence concerning the case of the death and present the findings of its investigation to me.
Danielle Da Silva for Channel 8 News.
New this midday, police in Lincoln are trying to find the person of interest in an ongoing hit-and-run case leading to a brief police chase. Authorities say the driver knocked down a stop sign in the Highlands area, then drove off. The escape caught on camera. You can see the person who's involved here are believed to be responsible driving away from the scene. Authorities say these two, a man and a woman, were the ones in the car with the man driving. They had just left a local bar on the night of April 16th before the incident. LPD says officers tried to stop the car after the crash, but they were driving too fast, and officers had to end the chase because they were in a residential area. They say the pair was later involved in a hit and run on an SUV parked at the street of Northwest 12th in West Fletcher. You can see the heavy damage here to that vehicle. Authorities need help finding these people responsible. Contact LPD or Crime Stoppers if you know anything. Over in D.C., Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth answering questions from Congress today for the first time since the war in Iran began. Hegseth expected to be grilled by lawmakers on the Trump administration's military budget proposal, which would boost defense spending to a historic $1.5 trillion. ABC's Olivia Rubin reports.
Today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane testifying under oath before Congress. Today's hearing marks Hegseth's first return to Capitol Hill in nearly a year and his first exposure to sustained scrutiny since the war started.
One of the big questions that we need to get answered today is, where is this going? What is the plan to achieve our objectives?
As the Pentagon reveals for the first time how much the war has cost.
Approximately at this day, we're spending about $25 billion on Operation Epic Fury. Most of that is munitions.
At the center of today's hearing, the administration's request for $1.5 trillion in defense spending, the largest amount in the Pentagon's history and a jump of 50% over current levels, marking the largest single-year increase in a generation.
The $1.5 trillion budget will ensure the United States continues to maintain the world's most powerful and capable military as we grapple with a complex threat environment.
And overnight, President Trump issuing a new striking warning to Tehran, posting an AI-generated meme on social media of him holding a machine gun and writing, "They'd better get smart soon," adding, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." No new round of peace talks is scheduled, and Americans are feeling the pain economically. Gas prices at the highest level in 4 years. The average price of a gallon of gas now $4.23. That's up $1.29 since the war began, a 44% increase. And it's driving up everything from shipping prices to the cost of groceries.
Now, there has been little movement in the critical Strait of Hormuz, but just yesterday, a Japanese oil tanker carrying 2 million barrels of oil successfully passing through after being stuck at a port for about 2 months. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
When we get back, financial fears, what college students say they're most afraid of post-grad, and the topic many wish their schools gave more lessons in. About how they are spending their cash. They are finding more than 1 in 4 respondents think their tuition is not a good investment. We're also getting a better idea of parent stress and kids' mental health. Half of the students also believe that their schools are not doing enough to make them financially literate. At the same time, 53% say they feel pressured by social media to spend beyond their means. When it comes to post-grad worries, 30% fear student loan debt, followed by 29% scared of not finding a job, and 25% are worried about credit card debts. Now that better idea of parent stress and kids' mental health, a national survey by Ipsos found that 30% of parents with children under 18 say they experience stress often. The survey included over 1,000 parents across the U.S. They found that 2 of the top sources of stress were children's behavioral issues and children's emotional or mental health. But at the same time, nearly half of stressed parents worry that their stress makes their own children more anxious. Experts from the Kids Mental Health Foundation recommend that parents also take care of their own mental health because their own stress can set the tone for the home. Houston, what's coming up next?
Well, there's no stress in the forecast except we're warming up, and we got a little bit of isolated showers and thunderstorms that will pop up here in the next few hours across southwest Nebraska. Show you all that here in a few.
When you
Developing now, extreme weather wreaking havoc in parts of the country. Today, many are left to pick up the pieces after violent storms hammered broad swaths of the U.S. heartland for a 6th straight day. From Tennessee to Texas, monster tornadoes bringing down trees and houses, hail pounding on cars as well. CNN's Reed Binion paints the picture for us.
Currently, the Palapinta County judge and the Parker County judge are both working on declaring the area a disaster.
Authorities in Mineral Wells, Texas, addressing the damage left by a tornado that flattened parts of the town.
Y'all pray for everybody in Mineral Wells, Texas, guys. It's crazy out here right now.
Several people were injured, 2 of them hospitalized when the tornado ripped through the town about 80 miles west of Dallas Tuesday, the 6th day of a severe storm outbreak that has terrorized the Midwest and continues to wreak havoc in the South. The violent storms Tuesday also came with hail. Hailstones up to tennis ball and baseball size pummeled Springfield, Missouri, damaging vehicles and knocking down power poles.
I gotta get out of here.
A storm chaser in Missouri reacting as the icy chunks rained down on his car, cracking his windshield. In neighboring Illinois, authorities are assessing damage from a tornado Monday that ripped through several towns in Clinton County, including Germantown. The storm damaged homes, toppled trees and power lines, and blocked roads. Meanwhile, wildfires continue to burn in parts of the South, including South Florida, where a massive blaze is burning in Everglades National Park. As of Tuesday night, it had expanded to more than 5,000 acres. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
I'm still not sure. I have not been in a hailstorm quite yet, and I've been through a pea-sized hail that we had about a week ago with a little storm, but nothing like tennis balls, baseballs, even softballs. I don't know what I would do in that situation, and hopefully we don't have to go through that anytime soon. What we do have to go through is a little bit of cold temperatures, especially Friday morning. That's going to be our coldest morning, but this morning we saw low temperatures 25 or 27 out in Thetford, and of course Alliance at 21 degrees. We got to 37 degrees, so we were one of the warmer spots. The last 24 hours temperatures have not done much. I mean, yesterday at this time we were at 51, 53. We hovered around 48, 49. And then we dipped down, but now we are at 54. So exactly where we were about yesterday. Not much going on temperature-wise. I could use a nice warm-up, though, and a little bit of rain. We got a fair weather cumulus clouds out there. It's mostly sunny, and the winds are on the calm side. Honda of Lincoln Cam definitely shows that. But look at those fair weather cumulus clouds. I'll show you why we have those clouds in a minute. Temperature-wise, warming up nicely across eastern Nebraska, low, even some middle 50s. We had some fog out here, and if you couldn't tell that, well, they got some low to mid 40s, so they're trying to warm up as we go into the next few hours. 53, we are actually one of the warmer spots, tied with Omaha at 54. Winds pretty much calm, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That makes a beautiful day. Check out these little fair weather cumulus clouds. You can see a whole stream back here into Iowa. That's all because of this big H. It's right here. High pressure usually means fair weather, and that's exactly what we're having. Just those fair weather cumulus clouds across eastern Nebraska. And then there's a little bit of that fog still lingering around into southwest Nebraska. All right, so here in the next, I'd say hour or two, most likely going to see a few isolated rain showers, a few thunderstorms across southwest Nebraska. No severe weather threat is expected. If anything, with the strongest core, maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail, but just some beneficial rainfall across southwest Nebraska starting about 2, 4, 5 p.m. And then some of that might make its way towards the east as we go into about 8 to 10 p.m. tonight. A little bit of light rain, maybe an isolated thunderstorm up here towards northeast Nebraska. We're going to have a little system which is going to move off towards the east and bring us a little weak cold front tomorrow morning, and that might have a little scrape right there across eastern Nebraska of some isolated showers, maybe a thunderstorm also down here into parts of southwest Nebraska on the backside of that front where the warmer area is. So not really much precipitation in the way in the next 48 hours. Actually, if we go through the first week into the second week of May, it looks like we are one of the spots where we are going to be dry, at least below average for precipitation. Meanwhile, down towards the south, they're actually going to have a system which is going to bring them a lot of moisture here in the next 48 hours. I got us at 40 tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. We're going to be the warmer spot across eastern Nebraska, and then further west you go, a little bit more cloud cover. Temperatures in the lower 30s. 7-day forecast, we got an AM light chance on Thursday morning across the eastern Nebraska. Friday looks just fine, just a little bit average spring day, and then the weekend turns warm, which I'm already looking forward to that, and I know probably a lot of people are, as you know, sometimes our weekends can be in Everett by about rain and cold. But then temperatures look to stay warm all the way through about Wednesday before our next cold front could bring us some rain and storm chances.
Yeah, obviously, I think the garden shops are going to be pretty busy this weekend, Houston.
Yeah, the garden shops, you say?
Garden centers, yeah.
Garden centers. Oh man, you know what? I might have to stop by.
Get a plant?
I mean, maybe. I like sod. You know, the grass you plant.
You live in an apartment.
Well, you know, I used to plant sod.
There we go. I don't know why that's over there, but hey, coming up, indicted again, why the DOJ has renewed their pursuit of the former FBI Director James Comey, and the social media post at the center of it all.
Being a chief meteorologist isn't just a job, it's a passion. I care about every storm, every forecast, because this community matters to me. I've spent decades tracking Nebraska weather, and now I'm proud to be Lincoln's longest-serving chief meteorologist. This community has trusted me through snowstorms, heat waves, and everything in between, like the top 10 days. Every forecast and every storm, my goal is simple, to keep you safe, because this is my community too. I'm Rusty Dawkins, chief meteorologist for Channel 8, and I'm not going anywhere.
They were bent up and everything. They weren't attractive at all. But these gutters are really nice, and they add to the quality of my home. And they take in lots of water.
LeafGuard is American-made and backed with a clog-free guarantee. Pair it with LeafGuard's exclusive fascia wrap for added protection and beauty. Now, during LeafGuard's Ugly Gutters sale, trade in your old gutters and get $500 towards your LeafGuard purchase. We'll even haul your old gutters away, plus zero down and payments starting at just $75 per month. And the bonus? Call during this program for a free $100 Visa gift card with estimate. From Lincoln throughout the Tri-Cities, call 1-800-897-3931. That's 1-800-897-3931. And LeafGuard is proud to be a Great Day Improvements brand. Receive 10% off any of our other products with your LeafGuard purchase.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Developing now, James Comey is expected to turn himself into federal authorities today. The former FBI director is being indicted for allegedly making threats toward the president. ABC's Sophie Flay reports.
Well, they're back.
Former FBI Director James Comey defiant after being indicted by the Justice Department for the second time in 7 months.
This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago. And this won't be the end of it. But nothing has changed with me. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go.
A federal grand jury in North Carolina charging Comey with 2 felonies, claiming he knowingly and willfully made a threat to harm or take the life of President Trump. The indictment centers around this since-deleted Instagram post from Comey last May, showing the numbers 8647, written in seashells, with the caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Supporters of the president quickly claimed it was a call to 86 or kill the 47th president.
Threatening the life of the President of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice.
Comey immediately deleted that post, writing, "I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down." Legal experts say this will be a hard case for the Justice Department to win, noting that prosecutors must prove Comey intended the shells as a threat, not just that others read it that way.
Of all the cases that have been brought and threatened against President Trump's enemies, this one may be the weakest.
Comey's first indictment by the Justice Department for allegedly making a false statement to Congress was thrown out on a technicality. No court date has been set on the new charges. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
So much more to come at Channel 8 News at midday, including a brutal stabbing overseas, why authorities believe it's related to anti-Semitism, and how the victims are doing.
Stop waiting for online
Right now, King Charles and Queen Camilla taking a bite out of the Big Apple today on their U.S. visit ahead of America's 250th birthday. They're expected to stop at a number of sites across Manhattan in their historic state visit, including the 9/11 Memorial. That's where we find ABC's Rena Roy with more on their visit.
It's a historic state visit for King Charles and Queen Camilla, now traveling from Washington, D.C. to New York City. The royal couple expected to lay flowers at the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan, honoring the victims of the September 11th attacks nearly 25 years later. The king and queen also expected to meet with first responders and the families of victims. The king's trip to New York follows a whirlwind day in Washington, D.C., which ended with a glamorous state dinner Tuesday night. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump hosting the king and queen at the White House.
History has known no more powerful force than the combination of American patriotism and British pride.
We are determined to face the future together.
Earlier Tuesday, King Charles became the first king to ever address Congress, calling for unity in his speech, marking the 250th anniversary of American independence.
I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking.
Now, later this evening, the king and queen will attend a reception showcasing the UK's cultural impact on New York through the arts, sports, and community initiatives. In Lower Manhattan, Rena Roy, ABC News.
Back here at home, here's the live look outside at our ABC Seamless camera. Not a lot of shake in the breeze right there. Good sign for warmer temperatures ahead. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get an updated forecast for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. We could take these days with no wind, barely a breeze, and out of the northwest. It actually warms us up when it comes off the higher elevations. We got high pressure out there, so if you look in the sky and you see a few puffy clouds, those are fair weather cumulus clouds, and that is all due to high pressure, which usually indicates some fair weather. So we're not in for any severe weather today. We are warming up rather nicely in eastern Nebraska. Omaha and Lincoln are tied, 54 degrees, and that's actually the highest temperature right now across Nebraska. There was some dense fog, and you can tell from Thetford down towards the south where temperatures in the low to upper 40s still, so those are the chilly spots. Got a light northwest wind out there, but you can see out towards where southwest Nebraska is, there's a little bit of a southeast wind, and that's where that high pressure just moved. It's now down towards our south, but you can see that fog is now dissipating. Here in the next hour or two, we should start to see some isolated showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder out towards southwest Nebraska. Accumulation-wise won't amount to much, and there's no severe weather threat, as maybe just some dry lightning strikes within that. Some of that tries to move towards the east later tonight across our parts. We're talking about 9 to about midnight, so I'll show you this whole forecast and see if there's any more rain going into your Thursday morning. Coming up, Maine weather.
In a couple minutes. Thank you very much, Houston. Breaking now, authorities in the UK are investigating a stabbing. They say 2 Jewish people are the victims of this knife attack in London today. You can see the chaotic scene here immediately following that stabbing. It's the latest in a series of attacks on the Jewish community in the British capital. Britain's Prime Minister calling the violence deeply concerning. Authorities there say the 2 men injured in the stabbing are in stable condition. A 45-year-old suspect was detained not long after that attack. A witness telling law enforcement they saw the man with the knife running down a road trying to stab people on the streets. Happening today, the Federal Reserve is expected to hold interest rates steady when it announces its latest decision. Experts say the benchmark rate will remain between 3.5 and 3.75%. Inflation is still running above the Fed's 2% target, with higher oil costs and global tensions adding pressure. At the same time, hiring has slowed, though the unemployment rate remains strong. Developing now, the People's City Mission is dealing with a drought. They're in dire need of water, and with summer weather right around the corner, this could become a serious issue. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson explains what's being done to help.
Well, generally we have water, we get donations, but recently they've sort of run short.
A rare problem for the People's City Mission this week. They're posting on social media saying their water stores have run dry.
We actually had to go buy our own pallet of water yesterday because we were just out. We put almost 100 bottles of water in sack lunches that we make every day. We also give them to folks that are out and about. Many of our guests don't have cars, and so we try to keep them hydrated.
But despite this pile of water bottles, Pastor Tom says they won't last for very long, and he fears these shortages are part of a trend that could last for a while.
You know, people ask me, why are we so short on water? And, you know, I'm not sure. I think maybe part of it's the economy, especially I think with gas going up right now. I just think people are feeling a little bit of a pinch. And so we've seen some of our water donations and other supplies drop a little bit. I know that's happening across the country.
And even though times are hard right now for many, the mission is making a plea. They're asking anyone to buy even just a single case of water to donate. Take a look here. This is the People's City Mission website where you can purchase different amounts of water. A 12-pack only costs $2.48, but if you wanted to make an even bigger donation, you could buy 4 cases of 24 bottles, which is 96 bottles of water for less than $40.
So far, we're making it. We just need help with water if we can get it.
Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
New details this morning. Grand Island City Council members are reacting to the latest financial update. City Administrator Patrick Brown walked the council through the details. With costs rising for everyone, City Council members are sharing the future might have to include a little less spending.
We're going to have to kind of watch our money here the next few years. Maybe. We'll see what happens here in the near future. But we're just going to have to tighten our belts a little bit.
The council also approved a new finance director and city treasurer. Chelsea Steinke will begin taking charge of the Grand Island financial future. She says she's ready to be part of the team.
I think things are being run really well right now, so just learn from the team and see what I can do to help.
Steinke's first day with the city will be June 1st of this year. New details now on upgrades to Kearney High School are in full in swing. We're getting a look at how that construction is going here. This is a peek inside the performance and activity wing at Kearney High. Some updates to share. The practice field is now fully turfed. Also coming into the space are dedicated for ROTC, dance, girls wrestling, and a host of other activities. They say the project is on track to be completed in June. Now to Husker baseball and that dramatic come from behind win overnight.
1 ball, no strikes. Smith brings it home. Stokes swings and hammers one down the left field line. Fair ball. This is going to win it. Overbeek around third. He's going to score. Red Stokes has his second walk-off.
Red Stokes, the hero late last night, his RBI double, giving Nebraska its 20th win at home this season and 34th overall. Nebraska trailed by 2 runs in the 7th inning before tying the game, and then Stokes did the rest in the bottom of the 9th. Nebraska now turns its focus to Ohio State. They travel to Columbus later this week for a 3-game series. Right now, this retirement community is celebrating 25 years. Savannah Pines here in Lincoln was the first of the resort lifestyle communities locations. Since 2001, they've grown to more than 60 communities nationwide. They say they have always been designed to challenge traditional perceptions of retirement living. Now they're inviting you to celebrate this milestone with them.
Community, connection, a lot of lives well lived, and we want you to be here and be part of the celebration.
Start with a ribbon cutting ceremony here in about an hour at 12:30 today, followed by an open house from 1 to 3 this afternoon. Still ahead this morning, robots of the future. Yeah, what one company is hoping to accomplish in your very own home. That's coming up after the break.
Being a chief meteorologist isn't just a job, it's a passion. I care about every storm, every forecast, because this community matters to me. I've spent decades tracking Nebraska weather, and now I'm proud to be Lincoln's longest-serving chief meteorologist. This community has trusted me through snowstorms, heat waves, and everything in between, like the top 10 days. Every forecast and every storm, my goal is simple, to keep you safe, because this is my community too. I'm Rusty Dawkins, chief meteorologist for Channel 8, and I'm not going anywhere.
Most lawyers who market for personal injury cases have literally never taken an injury case to trial. The insurance industry knows that Friedman Law has the experience and know-how to present evidence in a jury trial, and that we're not afraid of taking cases to trial when necessary. before you hire any lawyer for your injury case, ask them how many jury cases they've actually handled. You'll be stunned at the answer. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
What's Spectrum One? It's internet, Wi-Fi, and mobile working together as one. That means it's faster Wi-Fi on your phone.
It's boosted speeds for streaming whatever, whenever. Let's go!
And it's secure internet.
It's keeping kids like us safe online.
And it's saving $1,000 guaranteed, or Spectrum will cover the difference.
It's spending our money on better things.
Spectrum One. It's internet, Wi-Fi, and mobile working together as one. Switch today at spectrum.com.
For the quality furniture you're looking for, make the drive to Beatrice and visit Sheer Quality Furniture, offering free delivery to Lincoln. High quality furniture at a great price. Sheer Furniture in Beatrice.
When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook: read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan.
Trending now, the future of humanoid robots. ABC News traveled to China to see the cutting-edge technology, with many predicting we could each have one of these robots in our homes in the future. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
This is a humanoid robot, still partially controlled by a human, but the goal is for the robot to be autonomous and do the jobs we humans don't want to do. The race is on for who gets there first. Boston Dynamics made a splash earlier this year, unveiling its latest Atlas robot for industrial manufacturing.
Its walk is pretty natural and pretty smooth.
Elon Musk and Tesla's long-delayed Optimus model hope to show a gentler, domesticated robot. In China, the humanoid robots are a bit feistier. The first international humanoid robot games were held in Beijing, where the Chinese robot startups swept the events, including industry leader Unitree, which is trying to make their humanoids affordable for all. At company headquarters, they showed ABC's Britt Clennett their G1s going head-to-head, pushing the robot's abilities, teaching G1s how to backflip and recover from abuse. And it's working.
They dance, they box, kung fu. Many people will ask, how are they actually useful?
So movement is the fundamental. Once the robot can keep the balance under the very extreme circumstance, then the next step is get into our daily life to assist the human.
Is there a risk that they're going to take over and develop minds of their own?
Whenever actually we manage to develop AI models that are sentient, then yes, that's when I will probably get worried that the robots are going to take over. We're going to see robot armies, taking over the world or whatever.
The most we're concerned about is not the robot will hurt humans. We're most concerned about is the bad guys is taking advantage of the robot.
The humanoids industry is still in its early stages, but analysts say it could be worth $5 trillion by 2050, with nearly 1 billion of those robots working around the world. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Those robots, I was just now thinking about it, listening to that story. I'm trying to get into a website and they ask, are you a robot? Nah, I think I'm human. But, I think if a robot did my job, I think it'd be interesting to watch. Got some fair weather cumulus clouds out there in Beatrice. Roadways are dry, there's no rain out there, it's 53 degrees. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, it says mostly cloudy, but these clouds are just kind of beautiful. If you see these clouds on any day, it usually means, okay, we're in for a pretty quiet, not much happening type of day. Lower 50s out towards eastern Nebraska, 51 in Ord. They started the morning out in the mid-20s. And then there was some fog out here. They're still trying to warm up just a bit, chilling in the low to mid-40s. We are actually tied with Omaha, 54. Look at that, a straight line, Hebron, Lincoln, Omaha. Looks like Wahoo passed us, 55 degrees is now the warmest temperature. Got a light north wind, 5-10 miles per hour. And look at the cumulus clouds right there. You can just see them right there. And then there's a big field off towards Iowa. But that's going to be the sight for today. Meanwhile, off towards the west, there's that fog starting to diminish. And then as we go out towards the Rockies, you see that? That's cloud growth. That usually means, okay, we're about to get some light rain, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Let's see what that turns into as we go into the next few hours. There it is. That cumulus growth is going to lead to some isolated showers and thunderstorms across southeast Nebraska, 2 p.m. And that's going to be about 4 or 5 p.m. None of this has the severe weather threat. Just some isolated showers and thunderstorms with a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder, and some beneficial rainfall. Now that tries to move towards the east as we go into the nighttime hours, about 9 to 11 p.m. Light rain, maybe a rumble of thunder in northeast Nebraska. Well, that system's going to move off towards the east tomorrow morning. Could have a chance for some light rain along a weak cold front. Wouldn't do much. We're actually going to be warmer tomorrow morning from this morning. And then as we go into Thursday evening, another chance for some rain and thunderstorms south of that cold front. We're going to be dry as we go into the first, second week of May. It doesn't look too bad as we go to the third or the mid-second, third week of May. Meanwhile, the rest of the south is going to be getting some decent rain. All right, so tonight 40 degrees, a little better than this morning by about a few degrees. Warm spot, cold spot off towards the west. The coldest morning is going to be Friday morning. Check it out, 32 degrees. Widespread frost will be out there Friday morning. And then as we go into Saturday and Sunday, the weekend is shaping up to be a warm one, a great one to get out and enjoy that. And then as we go into next week, we are looking at those upper 70s, lower 80s before we are tracking maybe another system, which could scrape southeast Nebraska, as we all know. But right now it's looking all right. And then that's all due to a cold front going us down through the late next week.
I think a lot of animals are going to enjoy that weekend forecast, even today, really, Houston. So we got that going for us. Hey, coming up after the break, we got our favorite day of the week. It's the Capital Humane Society. Got a little guy up here up for adoption right now. We're going to talk to the Humane Society coming up here next. Stay with us. Thanks, bye.
Your mom will
Got a very special guest here today to talk about Nadia. Who did you bring by today?
Yeah, so this is Hayes. Hayes is an 8-week-old male neutered kitten. He came to us as a surrender. They could no longer care for him, unfortunately, and so he's looking for his new home. He has not stopped purring since we left the shelter, so super cuddly guy, super friendly. I'm sure he'd love to have a sister or brother or two. But yeah, he's ready to go home today. He'd do well with a family, but he, he'll be with the family for quite some time with him just being a kitten.
He's very light and fluffy. I'm sure that will change, but like just very cute to start out with, just from holding him for just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, super cute to start out with. He's been great to travel with, super talkative. But yes, he will grow and, become an adult cat in a few years.
It's just kind of that season, isn't it? Kitten season, a lot of people in there.
Yes, we're starting to see more kittens, and so it's always, we always like to remind people, if you see baby kittens, that's great. Leave them there and see if mom comes around. Mom will take care of them. And if you don't see mom, feel free to bring them in and we'll take care of them. It's always best to leave them with mom. So just watching to see if they're taken care of, if they look nice and clean and full bellies, mom is probably around and just hunting.
Is there like a a window, an hour? How long are you supposed to wait if you see them maybe in your backyard just kind of hanging out? How long are you supposed to wait for mom to kind of show up?
Yeah, if you see them in the morning, maybe give it till that afternoon. You can also sprinkle a circle of flour around them to see if you see any paw prints. So that's an easy way of telling if mom's coming and feeding them.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have your pet festival coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're hoping that this weekend's forecast is about as nice as it is for in a couple of weeks here. But can you kind of tell people about that?
Yeah, so we have our pet festival May 16th, and that is from 4 to 8. We are currently doing early bird pricing, so tickets are $10 until tomorrow. So through tomorrow, $10 tickets for anyone 18 and older. Anyone 18 or younger than 18 is free, but that will be at Glacial Till May 16th.
This is kind of one of your big events, correct? That you guys get a lot of your fundraising from this year, throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, and it's super fun. One of my favorite events. You get to be outside, and we have a DJ and raffles and all sorts of vendors. I think we have more vendors this year than last year. So super exciting, lots of fun shopping, and of course, bring your pets.
Absolutely. I know we always talk about dogs and cats here, but what you mentioned during the break, you guys have a good amount of rats there right now. How many of those critters are you seeing at this time of the year as well?
Not a lot of critters, but we do have quite a few rats right now up for adoption. So 12 went over today. So if you're a big rat lover and you're looking for a new family member or two, come stop by and see who we have. And they're all very friendly. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely stop by because we have more.
Are you always surprised to see maybe that's a unique animal that people tend to adopt a little bit?
Sometimes. I feel like rats are actually great family pets. They're very clean and smart, and you can train them. So a lot of people really enjoy having them.
Alrighty, sounds good. Anything else you want to let the public know about before we let you go here? Any supplies you guys need right now?
Yeah, something we're always really short on is cat litter for our Paws Pet Supply Pantry. So cat litter and then any sort of dried dog food.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, Nadia, thank you so much for stopping by today. Hayes is up for adoption right now, everyone, at the Capital Humane Society. Can you say goodbye, Hayes? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good job, Betty.
Trending now, music is being explored as therapy for those battling debilitating health challenges. For this Parkinson's Awareness Month, we are meeting a guitar teacher in Michigan who's using skills to help people with the disease. Here's ABC's Andy New.
The lion sleeps tonight. F, B flat, F, and C.
This Parkinson's Awareness Month, we are meeting a guitar teacher in Michigan who accidentally invented a game changer for people with Parkinson's.
This is, something I never would have seen coming 5 years ago.
It was about 5 years ago that James Linger patented this contraption called the Strum Perfect.
hitting in this placement,
which could help stabilize his students' strumming motions. However, then, through what he believes was fate, James got a call about someone with Parkinson's who was looking to take guitar lessons. Soon, his invention's potential impact became clear.
For people who are just picking up the guitar or early stage Parkinson's disease, it just helps some good muscle memory, very similar to a golf swing trainer.
But making it easier to learn the guitar with Parkinson's was only the beginning. Over the next few years, James would begin teaching folks with Parkinson's like Brian here, who found that being able to play guitar could help alleviate symptoms.
The diagnosis started out with my handwriting, and now I'm using my fine finger movement, the finesse in my fingers, to get them active again and get them relearning things.
Next, James began collaborating with doctors like Dr. Naresh Punjabi at the University of Miami and started researching how playing guitar could help people with movement disorders.
We're not going to be able to reverse severe disease, or at least impact severe disease, but in the mild to moderate zone, that's where we could potentially change things and maybe even retard progression.
And now, half a decade after patenting his little contraption, James has just launched an occupational therapy program called TheraPlaying, featuring a 12-week curriculum for helping people strum through their diagnosis.
This has been the most fulfilling journey that I've been on.
So this is how Strum Perfect works. See, I got this strap here and this rest, so I can just kind of keep my hand there. And James said next he wants to expand to helping people with multiple sclerosis and stroke victims as well. In New York for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Pretty cool stuff there. All right, before we go to break, here's a live look outside at our Barry Law Tower camera. Kind of a cool shot here with the shadow and the sun contrast there. We'll be right back with the final check of the forecast after the break.
If you're at home right now and you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention to this next segment as we discuss neuropathy.
What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and the legs primarily.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms we see are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, problems with your balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
If you're experiencing burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or having balance issues, call today for your nerve damage screening. Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Act now and call to schedule your nerve damage screening. First 25 callers receive this screening for free.
It's hotter than a hound dog in a Nebraska heat wave.
I think we need help. I'm going to just call Dave's.
Family-owned Dave's Heating and Air is Lincoln's heating and air experts. We install quality brine equipment and will do whatever it takes to make your home feel cool and crisp on a hot Nebraska day. Whether you need service, repairs, or a new system, the Dave's family is here for you.
Dave always saves the day.
Dave's Heating and Air, professional service you can trust.
All right, Houston, compared to the last couple of days, today's going to feel pretty darn good.
That's for sure. We got some light winds. We got high pressure currently over us. Now southwest Nebraska is starting to see a little bit of cumulus development. That usually means, hey, here comes some light rain. And there is a little bit of instability in the atmosphere, just a tiny bit. But that's what it's going to look like here in the next about hour or two as we go into 2, 3 p.m. A little bit of isolated shower and thunderstorm activity. Some of that can make its way towards the east as we go into tonight. And then Thursday morning, don't be surprised if there's going to be a light rain shower across eastern Nebraska. And then it looks to be a mostly sunny day from there. So we're saying partly sunny for tomorrow, AM chance, and then the weekend still beautiful.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you very much, Houston. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA3 is coming up next. Have a great rest of your day.
The Amigos Yankee, reinventing the ordinary hot dog.
crispy cheesy original and bold jalapeno popper. At Amigos, where food is fun.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Win bird feeders, binoculars, and cash this May in the 4th annual Nebraska Birding Bowl, a free, fun, month-long birding contest for youth to adult birders, all ages, all levels of experience. Register online at Nebraska Bird Bowl. Be a winner in May just by watching birds in Nebraska.
I have 2 options for you to take a look at. What do you think?
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Fast removal, fast installation. Our remodels take only days, not weeks, so you can love your bathroom sooner. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
For 50 years, Lincoln Mattress and Furniture has helped you feel right at home. During our 50th anniversary celebration, enjoy 50% markdown. Draw a golden ticket for extra savings. Get 12 months financing and a $300 gift card. Now at Lincoln Mattress and Furniture.
Stay ahead of the storm with Rusty Dawkins at 4:30, 5, 6, and 10.
It's time for GMA 3.
Oh, a tornado right there on the road.
Severe weather outbreak wreaking havoc in Texas, leaving a trail of destruction. Buildings flattened, trucks tossed on their sides, this roof in the middle of the road. When will the threat be over? How to fill your gas tank without emptying your wallet. The ways to save real money, including the membership that could cut up to 30 cents a gallon. And we're counting down to The Devil Wears Prada 2, going from the streets of New York.
Why don't you take the train, dear?
To Milan.
Meryl in the gallery. It's one of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen.
Plus, we're chatting with one of the new stars of the movie. Simone Ashley is here. It's time for GMA 3.
We're getting closer to that opening day for Devil Wears Prada 2. We're so excited.
We are, and we can't wait for Simone Ashley.
Yeah, she was on GMA this morning. She's fantastic. We're going to talk to her about that and Bridgerton, of course.
Absolutely.
As well. Hello, everyone. I'm Rhiannon Alex.
And I'm Gio Benitez. We're glad you can join us on this Hump Day Wednesday.
Yes. Coming up, protein maxing.
Oh,
We're talking cottage cheese. The hacks are all over social media, but how much is too much? We've got the scoop on the trend and the best ways to add protein to your diet.
For me, it's never too much. It just isn't. And Tori Johnson is here with deals and steals for Mother's Day with savings on jewelry, skincare, and so much more. Up to 81% off. It might be one of our biggest deals, all from small businesses.
Yeah, you want those Mother's Day gifts. It's coming up right around the corner. We're going to start, though, with the severe weather slamming Texas, leaving a trail of destruction west of Dallas. And Ginger is here with the latest round of this nearly week-long weather outbreak that we've been dealing with.
It has been a long week, I can tell you that. We've had about 1,000 severe storm reports, and we could still add some yet this afternoon. But look, this is Mineral Wells, Texas, where a tornado ripped through. They're out and doing the survey. There were injuries. 2 people were sent to the hospital there. Many others were treated on scene. But we also had giant hail in Missouri, in parts of Texas, over to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and kind of the same area, but just south is who's dealing with the storms this afternoon as we go through tonight. It's that area that has the level 2 out of 5, but there's also a pocket in the mid-Atlantic. Notice as we go through the rest of this evening, if you're anywhere from Pittsburgh down to Washington, D.C., you're also in that region for strong to severe storms. One thing I will note is this has a lot of rain with it. So a lot of people desperately want it. There's some expanding drought in parts of the south. They'll get 2 to 4 inches widespread. This is a really slow-moving front, but we want it in South Georgia and Florida where those fires are burning, and they'll get a little bit this weekend, but they need 1.5 feet to end the drought.
Wow. I'm so glad you were in the tornado zone yesterday profiling these communities that desperately need help. So
yes,
thank
and
you
so many of them over 6-7
1,000
days.
reports, you said. That's incredible.
Truly incredible. All right, Ginger, thank you so much. Now to the royal visit and King Charles yesterday, becoming just the 2nd British monarch to address a joint meeting of Congress, and Chief International Correspondent James Longman is in Washington right now after last night's state dinner. James.
Hi, Gio. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been surprised at the King's sense of humour and the way that he's been able to make, in this kind of classic British understated way, a number of pointed remarks about American leadership, its place in the world and the rule of law.
Overnight, the President and First Lady hosting King Charles and Queen Camilla, along with 120 guests, including multiple Supreme Court justices, tech CEOs Tim Cook and Jeff Bezos.
History has known no more powerful force than the combination of American patriotism and British pride.
President Trump started off with a joke after saying the King's speech to Congress earlier in the day made him jealous.
He got the Democrats to stand. I've never been able to do that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They liked him more than they've ever liked any Republican or Democrat, actually.
The King toasted his host and host nation.
Let us raise our glasses and voices as we toast the past, the present, and the future.
Mr. Speaker, Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla.
Earlier, the King appeared before Congress calling for unity.
I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world.
He's the first king ever to address the House and didn't shy away from sensitive topics, calling for support in the war in Ukraine and praising the NATO alliance. And his final message to lawmakers in a deeply divided time that words matter, but that the actions of the US matter even more.
America's words carry weight and meaning.